All right, Coach, tell us who you brought with you today.
All right, I'm pleased to have two outstanding young men with us this afternoon. To my left is Anthony Eager, wide receiver. He's number one. On my right is Alex Schamberger, defensive back, number 13 in the program. And both of them seniors, outstanding young men, great students, and have proved to be outstanding football players for McT.
All right, tell us how you feel going into, I guess, your second year.
Yeah, second year. You know, there's some familiarity about the job now. Last year, there was a lot of new things taking place, just from a standpoint of understanding the McGill-Toolen culture, to expectations, and then you get into the football aspect of it, where you're finding out about the teams, the programs that you're competing with, and some of the coaches I knew, not all of them, but I can assure you that in our region, every football coach is outstanding, and there's great players on all of our teams, and so it's a tremendous region that we're in.
Making the playoffs first season, how big is that coming into this new 6A region? You know,
well, yeah, that was a big thing for us too. Is not only making the playoffs, but winning a playoff game. And then what we were able to do was win a playoff game on the road, which had not been done in 4 years. So there was some accomplishments that we had. Obviously, we didn't finish the season as strong as we wished we had hoped for, but it was an outstanding year for us to make the playoffs, to get in a playoff game on the road, and to win on the road.
Coach, got to ask you the $64,000 question. How do you replace a young man like Braylon Reynolds in the offense?
Well, you know, there's those are things of that nature. I mean, here's a young man that rushed for almost 2,000 yards. As a matter of fact, I looked it up just this week, and it was 1,981 yards that he rushed for. And so that's pretty good against High Cotton. And so to see him, and that doesn't mention coming to play his receiving yards and some of the other things that he did for our team. But those type players are very difficult to replace, and but the cupboard's not bare. That's one thing about our program. We've got good players, we got good people, we got folks who are willing to work and improve and improve their skill and their talent level, and so the cupboard's not bare. We just get ready to go again.
Returning wise, do you know how many offensive players you have returning from starting and returning starters on defense?
Yeah, I don't know. We had a large number of seniors last year, and so the great seniors, great senior leadership, and we had a few. And these two guys right here, both of them started as juniors, and so because of their play and the good things that they've done, they've got colleges looking at them. Of course, Anthony is already committed to South Alabama, but there's some young players that we have. We don't have a whole lot of experience in some areas, but we have some good players because of what we did in our JV program and moving forward with those guys.
Having a kid like Anthony Eager, it kind of makes it easy on offense. But, you know, who are some of those other kids that's going to be able to contribute?
Yeah, well, you talk about losing Braylon McReynolds. We have Trey Inge. Trey Inge is our running back that we're counting on to do some really good things there. In Trey's situation, here we have a running back with like Braylon McReynolds that rushed for over 1,900 yards. But what people don't know is that Trey Inge rushed for over 500 yards and had several touchdowns for us. So when Braylon got winded, if he needed a break, or we went to our Wildcat package, Trey was the running back for us. And so then we have Timothy Talbert that's also playing running back for us. Just a real gifted athlete, can do a lot of good things from a backfield position, but also can play a receiver for us. So we feel like we're okay in a running back position as far as that goes. And then got some tight ends that are going to play well for us, and all of them are juniors, or most of them are juniors. But we feel like those guys can help us and do some things there. And then a young receiver by the name of Roscoe Haywood that has come on and shown that he can play at this level as well. So we're excited about those guys and looking forward to what the offense can do as the season progresses.
Coach, you kind of had a quarterback shuffle, it seemed like, at all times last year. What is it? What is it
Dang,
like?
dangest season I've ever been through. We went through 4 of them, and so and as it turns out, we've still got two young quarterbacks. One's a 9th grader and one's a 10th grader. And you say, well, how are you going to win in this region with a 9th grader and a 10th grader? And be quite honest with you, I don't know. But I know we need to, and that's what we're expected to do. And so we're expecting those 2 guys to grow up in a hurry. And I tell them all the time, to play on this level, to play in this region, you cannot play like a 9th grader. You cannot play like a 10th grader. You got to play above what your grade level is right now.
The excitement of creating a rivalry. You guys have Catholic and Montgomery on the schedule, but establishing a rivalry with St. Michael. How exciting is that for the Gulf Coast and really the community to see 2 Catholic schools that are here locally play one another?
Yeah, that's really exciting from my end of it as well, because when they started their program, I don't know when they started the program, to be honest with you, because I was new here as well. But once we did a 7-on-7 with them last summer, and it was very competitive. And so I'm thinking, okay, let's see what happens in the new region. See if we have some matching open dates that we can get with them and play. And it just so happened they were wanting to play us as well. So it worked out. We made it work. The Archdiocese made it work as well. And so we're looking forward to playing those guys this fall.
Is there gonna be a special title for that game, the battle of?
I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys come up with that, okay?
The Rosemary, the Sacramento. So we can come up
Well,
with.
yeah,
Okay.
y'all come up with something. Y'all come up with something.
How are y'all looking on defense right now?
I'm sorry?
How are y'all looking on defense right now?
Well, here's our situation on defense. We lost our defensive coordinator, Randy Butler. Randy was and I had coached together several years ago, and for several years. And so Randy retired and went back to Mississippi. In the meantime, I hired a young man I had coached at Mississippi College. He had an injury, could not finish his career, so I hired him as a student coach, and then he stayed on as a graduate assistant, and then hired him full time. And his name is Trey Sullivan. He's from Centronel, and so very familiar with this area. Matter of fact, because of Trey, we were able to get some outstanding football players from the Mobile area to come play for us at Mississippi College. So I'm excited about what our defense is doing, the schemes, our coaching staff got some new. Not only do we have Trey Sullivan that's new, but we have Ashley Johnson, a local coach who's been a head coach here. We have W.C. Johnson, a local coach that's been a head coach in the area as well. And then Alex's dad, Anthony Schamberger, also a local coach, has been a head coach in the area. So every one of our defensive coaches have a tremendous amount of experience. They're well versed in what we want to accomplish, and they have a wealth of experience and knowledge. And every one of them has been a head coach at one time or other.
So is Trey the defensive coordinator then?
Yes.
What can you tell us about these 2 guys? What makes Anthony special?
Well, Anthony, when I was talking to some of the coaches during the spring, and they came through, and they were wanting to know about Anthony, I told them, you got a great track guy who loves football, and he may be the best kickoff return guy I've ever coached on any level. And so they, of course, they looked at the film and they see the same things I see, and there was a lot of interest in him and Anthony throughout the spring, and then as the spring went on and his times got better and better in track, and then triple jump, being a state champion in triple jump, and in 2 hurdles, it's just a tremendous athlete, and not only that, a great person, an outstanding student, and a tremendous leader on our offense.
What about?
All right, Alex. Watching Alex grow up from last fall to this, right now going through our summer workouts, has been tremendous. There's something about getting a bunch of snaps. There's something about getting a bunch of play on the field, and there's no substitute for experience. There's no substitute for reps. And the best thing that happened for Alex last year was to play just about every defensive snap, to be involved in making calls and coverage adjustments and formation adjustments. And now here he is as a senior leader, playing at a very high level. Our summer workouts, he's just done a tremendous job of keeping everybody on point, doing the things they needed to do as from a defensive standpoint, and real proud of what his play and how he's improved in the last year or so that we've been together.
McGill has been 118 and 30 since 2010. How much pressure was that on you to keep that winning?
You know, there is, and I broke it down even more than that. The last, I didn't even talk about the losses. I just talked about the wins. But it was all those wins prior to my coming in. And so some outstanding coaches led the program. A lot of outstanding players have been in the program. A lot outstanding assistant coaches have been in this program as well. And so I think that as coaches, you can worry about the pressure if you want to, but you're going to go coach. You're going to go coach. I did not get in this job, into this profession, to worry about the pressure of winning. I got into this to have an influence on young people. That is what I want to do. I want to have a positive influence on these young people's lives. Now, do I do it? I don't know. You'll have to ask these guys. I don't know. But I know that that is what's foremost on my mind. Now, along the way, I want to win ball games. Don't get me wrong. I've got that competitive spirit in me, and I want to win. But the bottom line is, when these guys leave our program, are they going to remember how many wins we had, how many this, that, and others, whatever take place? I don't know. They're going to know how Norman Joseph treated them. They're going to know how the coaching staff treated them. And I will say this, and this is, I've shared this many a time, that if you want success for a year, this is an old Chinese proverb, okay? This things we talked about in Vicksburg, Mississippi, where I grew up. So here's an old Chinese proverb for you. Jeff, Kelly, I'm gonna let you can share it with your guys when you get back. But, and Jeff, I don't know if y'all know, I recruited Jeff to go to Southern Miss. Didn't get to coach him, but I did recruit him. I evaluated and recruited him. But here's what I want you to know. On this old Chinese proverb, it says this: if you want success for a year, you grow grain. If you want success for 10 years, you grow trees. If you want success for 100 years, you grow people. And I feel like that I'm in the people growing business, and that's what we want to accomplish at McGill-Toolen.
Big Chinese influence in Vicksburg?
No, but a strong Lebanese, I can tell you that. My granddad came from Lebanon. That's the reason I say that.
All right, you want to get your guys
Okay,
up there?
good.
Coach Anthony?
Okay, here we go. You're up.
How's it going, Anthony?
Good, how about you?
Good, man. So talk about this year. What's your goal?
Our goal is try to make it a state, try to get to that blue map, win everything we possibly can.
Anthony, you recently committed to South Alabama. You decided to stay locally. What was your decision-making factor in deciding to commit to South Alabama? And will you being a dual sport athlete, will you decide to run track at South Alabama, or will you do football only?
I will be doing both sports at South Alabama. What made me commit was the coaches, like how they communicate with me every day, talk to me every day, like make sure I was all right, make sure the family's all right. How they, when I went to camps, they taught me everything that I needed to know when I do get up there. They were all around good coaches, all around. Like when I went to the official visit, it was like family.
Talk about the what it's called, the entourage of people when you went on that recruiting visit, how they welcomed you on campus and stuff like that.
It was kind of overwhelming. It was like, whoa, like some people that I walked up to knew my name, but I didn't know theirs. It was like they like studied me or something. It was weird, but it was fun.
Can you talk about as a kick return, like what goes through your mind? Like what's it, coach says you're not the best he's been around. What makes you a good kick returner? And just kind of walk us through that whole process of being a kick returner.
I guess it's the way that I like hit the hole. Even though it's like a small hole, if I hit it just right, I'm bound to score. Like with my speed, with everybody else not like they can't catch me, I'll be able to score. But like on what my mind that goes through it, I really don't know. It goes blank. Like the only time that I actually think about something is when I get into the touchdown. It's like everything else is just blank. I don't know how to explain it.
So we know you kick return, you're receiver, you're triple jump guy. What are some hidden talents we don't know about you?
To be honest, I don't even know. I don't think.
Untapped.
I don't know. I don't think there is any hidden talents.
No singing, no karaoke, no.
I definitely cannot sing. That's one thing I cannot sing.
Anthony, the last time we talked, you had just won 3 state individual titles at the Class 6A track and field league. How do the disciplines in track and field translate into football? You know, for those who may not be, acquainted with either sport, really.
Well, to do track, I guess you could say you have to be more explosive, and that kind of translated over to football. 'Cause when you make a tackle, you have to be explosive to knock the person down or throw your hips. When you go up in the air to go catch a ball, you have to be explosive to jump up and go catch it. When it's like it correlates with one another. Like when you get in the starting line or get in the blocks, you shoot out. You have to be explosive. Like it's correlated with like any other sport. It correlates with everything.
Anthony, what did you ran the sprints as well, or you just did the field?
I did 110 and
110
300-meter hurdles.
Well, 22 years ago, I was training for the 2000 Olympics in the 100 and 200 meters, so I can attest to that. So I was an athlete myself. Playing at such a high level in football and at a high level in track, and all the attention that you get, how are you able to harness that and to continue to be humble? Because I know a lot of kids, they let it go to their head and they get the big head. How do you stay humble and stuff like that? And the younger guys coming behind you, what are the things you can teach them what not to do when they get to your level?
Really don't let it get to your head. Don't think that you're just the best person like around. There could be always a better person. When you go like out of state, always could be a better person. Go to these camps, always could be a better person. Like you're not just that guy. Like when you walk somewhere, you're just another person to any other person.
If I was to think about a college or NFL player and their game that's similar to yours, or what puts me in the mindset of viewing you if I'm looking at some sports center highlights, what player does your game would remind me of?
Like what would remind me is like if you look at my highlights, you see it.
And what
like,
NFL player, if I see you on the field, what NFL player do I think about? What receiver comes to mind? Or college receiver?
I don't know. That's a good question. That got like my mind turning. Probably like a Jamar Chase type. I just got a bunch of speed, and if I get the ball in my hands, I'm able to at least make a play.
Thanks, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the defense this year.
Well, we lost 7 starters last year, so we're rebuilding. We have young guys that's coming up every day. I see them there continue to grow every day. So they're going to be able to fit most of those starters that we lost last year.
Are you able to cover Anthony pretty well?
Well, sometimes he don't like coming over there on my side, so he stay away from me. But whenever he does, good competition. He either catching the ball or I'm knocking it down.
Growing up in a football family, your dad played at LaFleur, former LaFleur head coach, so you've been around the game all your life. How fun is it to know that it's your turn and you also are able to teach your younger brother a little bit more about the game as well?
Well, it all happened so fast. Like, I remember when I was little just watching my dad coach at LaFleur. So it's all surreal. So seeing my brother growing up too with me, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, this season is going to be very interesting because you have that neighborhood rivalry with Murphy, and even though last year they were 7A, now that they're going to be in the same region as you guys, it's going to kind of make things even more interesting. Your thoughts on that?
Well, Murphy, they're going to be a good team, but I feel like we can match up with them easily. We'll be able to beat them like how we have past few years. So I feel like we'll be fine playing against Murphy.
With your dad being a coach on the team and you playing, how those drives home, or what's that line of separation between, all right, Daddy, we ain't in practice no more? Like, does he turn it off or turn it on? How do you guys handle that?
It's on 100% of the time, every day.
It's always on.
Yeah, those drives home, like if I mess up, he talking to me the whole way home every day. But if I do good in practice, he encouraging me every time. Just making sure I stay on top of my game.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Good luck for you guys this season.